So I just saw this, and I know that this is going to blow up tremendously. One of the biggest names in football, which we call soccer, uh, is Neymar Jr. He is a Brazilian soccer player, football, and what just occurred is just stunning, but hilarious, and I just see it blowing up tremendously in a great way. So his football owner guy made him sign a oath of sorts. They're calling it an ethical oath, an ethical pledge, which is funny, but they are bribing him $7.5 million. I think it's like 6.2 million euros or something, to not talk about Jesus for a year. What? I mean, like, he's Brazilian, first of all. If you don't know anything about Brazil, they're very Christian. And when this comes out, this is going to, I mean, are they trying to start some type of, I don't even know, because listen, the owner is a sheikh from Qatar, so I would imagine that has a little bit to do with it. Are they trying to start a religious war, another crusade? What are they doing? I mean, I have no idea, but it's hilarious. So what he did, I mean, I guess he signed it, but obviously has no intent on actually doing it, because he already posted to his YouTube channel, his thumbnail is him with his hands up praising God. And so technically he didn't say anything, but he wears this headband. It says 100% Jesus on it, and so they don't want him talking about Jesus. What he does a lot of like things where it says 100% Jesus, and he'll pull up his shirt and he has like his undershirt that says that. His son wears the headband. A lot of people wear the headband and all of these things. But it's just very interesting that, you know, you never hear anyone say, you can't talk about Muhammad. Can you stop saying Muhammad? That never happens. Why? Because Muhammad is not a threat to anyone. Sorry, he's not. He's just not. Jesus, however, is. They're trying to bribe people not to talk about him. Dana White has done the same thing. If you are a UFC person, whatever, Dana White has said, oh, to one of the guys, I can't remember his name, he won one of the biggest things of his career, whatever, and he's like, you just won the biggest, because he was thanking God and thanking Jesus and everything, and he's like, nobody wants to hear about that. I want you, just told him to shut up and all this. It's because Jesus convicts them in their heart. They say it, they hear it, they're like, oh no, stop. So, but, the thing with telling this to a Brazilian is just, I'm telling you, this could start some type of crusade. I'm just laughing because it is funny. It's so funny that so much prophecy has been coming about. Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the other biggest names in football recently, just pretty much told Coca-Cola to take a hike because of their stance on pretty much the same thing. Well, it was more of the white guilt stuff, but it all comes back to Christianity. His name is Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, but this thing with a Brazilian, just, I don't think Americans really, and Europeans in general, really understand Brazil as they're European, but they're different. They're probably how we would have been if we wouldn't have been so infiltrated. Brazil is such a beautiful country. I've never been there, but I plan to go one day. I will go. And You know, they're the ones that have the big Christ Jesus Redeemer statue on the mountain. Their president, Bolsonaro, is a born-again, spirit-filled believer, and he's not ashamed to say that. And I mean, that's pretty much how a lot of Brazil is. And so I think that this is going to create a big uprising. The funny thing is, why is this sheikh from Qatar, why does he own their football club? What is he going to do next? Is he going to tell the Brazilian women that they can no longer wear the things that they wear to the games? I mean, do you know what kind of uproar that would cause? You see, Americans, we're kind of like, oh, cover yourself up. You know, we've kind of taken on Islamic doctrines of cover yourself up, shame, shame, when shame is really of the devil. And Brazil, they've always understood that shame was from the devil. I mean, it's like that doesn't even cross their mind. Like one of the congresswomen I did a video on like 2 years ago or something, I'll show a picture of her. Like the American and European media went crazy over these photos. And they just were like, what is going on? And she, like, she was like, oh my gosh, was I not supposed to wear red? Like, that's how much it doesn't even, in their mind, they don't believe that the human body that God gave them is to be shamed. So she really thought that it was because she was wearing red. And that's really how we are supposed to be as believers in Jesus Christ. I mean, God gave us these bodies. We're not supposed to be shameful. I'm not saying that you need to go and act like a heathen, but to shame people is of the devil. And Brazil has always, that's always been their thing. I mean, you go on the beaches, there's people half naked, but you know, you see the Brazilian women go into the games, and this is just like an everyday, this is just how they dress. And it's not something about, you know, people are like, oh, lust and this and that. Well, you gotta think about that. Is it really the woman's fault that you're lusting? I mean, would you say the same thing to somebody that brings a lot of food to your office? And if you're a glutton, would you say, oh, how dare you tempt me? I'm a glutton. You know? Or if, you know, nobody has problems being around maybe their secular friends that drink or whatever, and you're not like, oh, how dare you tempt them, you know? No, but when if a woman is dressed like I am, I know this kind of went full circle here, like me, because I'm kind of making this because I get so many ridiculous comments from self-proclaiming Christians about my tank tops, and the more you say it, the more I'm going to wear them. I have like a dozen or so. Actually, I probably have 20. I'm lying, I probably have 40. I have tons of these. They're like $3 at Walmart. They're great. This one says faith on it. I made this one. I didn't make the shirt. But my point is, all of this shame, but yet connecting yourself to Jesus Christ, but yet the Brazilians truly understand the gospel. They really do. And I'm not saying everyone in Brazil. I'm just saying in general, they do. And this entire thing is going to backfire tremendously. Let's just sit back and watch and enjoy this show of these silly, silly people that hate Jesus so much that they would try to silence one of their biggest stars. It's nothing new. But this time, I think bringing a Brazilian into the mix of it, with Bolsonaro in office especially, I think it's going to be a fiasco. And at the same time, we have Nicki Minaj. As crazy as that woman is, you know, God will use anyone. And if he has to use a Nicki Minaj to get out his message about warning people about that thing, then he will. And he is. And you could say, oh, he would never use Nicki Minaj. Yes, he would. He would use Kanye West. He would use any of these people. I'm not saying that these people should be your mentor or, or anything, but he will use them to influence people to get messages out whenever his people are being silenced. And I'm not saying that she's not one of them. I'm just saying, in general, you know what I mean. I think y'all know what I mean. But I just had to get this video out because it's just so... I know that this is going to be... This could be the beginning of a crusade. Get your swords ready. You know, the word. Not a real sword. Of course. That would be crazy, right? No. Just kidding. Y'all have a wonderful day. Like, share, and subscribe. And my channel is still demonetized, but I have a feeling that it's not going to be any longer. YouTube's going to just lift that and just say you can be monetized again, and I won't have to keep asking y'all for donations because I hate doing that. But anyway, y'all have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.